Hello and welcome to Gardening and Allotment Tips. Well, it's been a while since I've posted one of these episodes. I do apologise for that, for those of you that have subscribed to this channel. But we have been putting out the other podcast, Gardening with Ben. If you've not checked out that podcast, Gardening with Ben, we've been posting episodes to that regularly, where we share everything that we've been getting up to on the allotment and sharing any tips and advice on there as well. So there's over 160 episodes on that channel, so make sure you do give it a subscribe to that channel and give it a listen to as well if you've not done already. So today's episode we're going to be talking about melons. Yes, melons. And the thing is, the question is, can you grow melons in the UK? Now, I have actual proof that I have managed to successfully grow some melons. This was quite a few years ago now. I tried them 2 years ago and I didn't get anything. I didn't have the time to look after them. But quite a few years ago, I did successfully grow some melons. And these melons were cantaloupe variety, and we grew them in my polytunnel, and they were absolutely delicious. The best melon that I have ever tasted, and that takes a lot to say that I've tasted the best melon ever, but honestly it was fantastic. And to grow melons, you can, some variety, obviously there's more and more new varieties of melons appearing on the seed market, and one specifically for the UK market as well, to encourage us to grow melons over in the UK. Obviously they're being adapted and changed so that they can cope with our climates, but there is so many that you can grow outside, but I don't believe you would get a better harvest outside than inside a polytunnel or a greenhouse, because melons do love the warm weather and the heat. That's why they're obviously grown abroad. And I've got a polytunnel myself, and it's an absolutely massive one, and this year I'm planning on trying lots of different varieties of melons. I've purchased so many different packets of melon seeds, and if they all germinate then we'll have millions of melon plants growing. But I really do want to experiment and see which melons grow the best in my polytunnel, so we're going to be trying lots of different varieties, and there's many different varieties out there for you to try. And I am tempted to try and to grow a watermelon. That would be a good result, and I'd be very pleased with myself if I did manage to grow a successful watermelon. But there's the melons, the varieties that you can try growing here in the UK. Forgive me if I do say any of these wrong, because I'm never very good at reading words. The first one is Alvaro, then Adonis, Honeybun, Gallia, Mangomel, Musk, Orange Sherbet, and I really don't know how to say this word, but I'll give it a shot, Rugoso de Conzenza Giallo. To say I'm a gardener, I'm absolutely rubbish at saying these words. And then there's Watermelon Mini Love, which I've never heard of myself. I've not heard of many of those varieties, to be honest, so I had to Google quite a few of a lot of them. But the Melon Alvaro is an F1 hybrid, and it's an award-winning RHS Gold Merit fruit, which means it's been highly recommended to be grown by the RHS, which leads you to believe that they would be grown well in the UK. So if you're tempted to try and grow one, I would recommend trying to grow that one, because obviously they've given it the gold stamp of approval, if you say so. And to grow melons, it's not that hard to get them to germinate. I've had plenty of success with getting them to germinate. All you need to do is have somewhere warm, obviously, for them to germinate, but it's just a case of putting the seeds in a tub of compost and covering them over to keep them warm, and putting them in somewhere nice and light, and they will germinate, and you'll have a good germination rate, fingers crossed. And if there's a melon that you particularly like in the supermarket, why not dry the seeds and plant them yourself, and maybe you'll get a fantastic crop from the supermarket ones. Who knows? You may find a melon that we can grow well in the UK. If you do, let me know, because I'll certainly give it a try. But yeah, it's very easy to get them to germinate. Now, obviously, like I said, it's best to grow them in a greenhouse or in a polytunnel, because you'll have a better chance of growth of the melon. And obviously melons also need a lot of water to help them swell, because that's what creates all the juice, obviously all the water content in them. So they will need watering quite regularly, so you will need to give them a lot of love and attention to getting the best crops from them. And usually when I grew the melons, you can either obviously grow them in a grow bag, but I grow them in flower buckets. I've got some plastic flower buckets with holes in the bottom. I fill them up with compost and I plant my melons in them. And melons are like cucumbers, they grow like a vine, so you need to keep them fastened and supported up some netting or along the floor, but I'd suggest up some netting, because you don't want them on the floor, because they'll be getting critters, and maybe mice and rats will come and nibble on them, and you don't want that. So grow some up with some netting. But obviously, as the melons start to grow on them, they'll become heavy. So what you need to do is you need to support them by either putting an upturned plant pot and resting it on that, or, as I was suggested once, is going to a charity shop and buying old bras and using them for support. Oh, the faces if I walked in for some of those. But yeah, that is a gardening tip, what I've been told. So if you've got some old bras, use them for support for the melons, and you will be able to get some fantastic melons, hopefully. Hopefully the bra size will be big enough to hold the melons. But yeah, that is how easy it is to grow melons. And the way that you know the melons are ready for picking is because they suddenly start to let off that strong melon scent. Once you can smell that, that is when you know that they are ready to be harvested. And fingers crossed, they will taste absolutely delicious. And like I said, I grew cantaloupe melon, and wow, were they delicious. They were absolutely beautiful. The best melons that I've ever tasted, and I really can't believe how well they tasted. So I'm really going for it this year, and I'm going to give lots of different varieties a try. I've even got some shipped in from France to try a hybrid variety. So fingers crossed we can have a fantastic harvest, and I'll be able to share with you all how we get on with growing these melons down at the allotment. So let me know if you're going to be growing melons. Feel free to send me a message on Instagram. It's always great to hear from everybody. Gardening with Ben, or send me a message on Facebook, also Gardening with Ben. Make sure you're following all my socials. And yeah, if you're not following my YouTube channel, give that a follow, because I'll be documenting growing my melons from seed this year, so you'll be able to see how I get on. Again, it's Gardening with Ben. And yeah, I'm going to be uploading a plot tour as well today, so make sure you're following my YouTube channel and you'll be able to see everything that I'm getting up to down on the allotment. So until next time, make sure you subscribe to this channel as well. If you're a new listener, make sure you subscribe to this channel. So until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts.